нарешті приїхали на батьківщину Kupala Brighton Project до Трубайців і до болот, до місця, де я виросла, і місце, яке було таким важливим взагалі в формуванні мене і мого бачення світу. So we finally made it to Trubaitsi, which is my village, and Kupala Brighton Project finally came to the place where Kupala started for me. So Trubaitsi is a village in the central part of Ukraine where I grew up. My grandparents lived here and my step-granny did. And I would come here like all the time in summer, in winter, in autumn, for school holidays, in spring, even though my parents live in another place. But this village is so connected to nature, and I was so connected to nature here. There is a river on one side of the village, a forest on another side of the village, and bolota, which is wetlands, right by my house. So basically it takes 1 minute to get from the house to the wetlands, to bolota, where I spent the most of my time. When I was a child, I was looking at this place and I was daydreaming about little weird things, like for example nature spirits living in bolota, in wetlands. Bolota is obviously surrounded with reeds, and I just thought that reeds was like a fence, so I thought that behind that fence, behind the reeds, where the water is and the lakes are, as I know now, there would be nature spirits, rusalkas, mavkas, and I just thought that, you know, I'm just gonna, when I grow up, maybe I'm gonna become friends with them, why not? And so obviously, because I was so connected to nature, all the holidays that were about nature and all the celebrations like midsummer became a huge part of my life. And Kupala, which is Ukrainian midsummer, started in this place, in this village, where I would celebrate it with my friends and the community, and bolota played such a significant role in it. Bolota has obviously changed during these years, and I was heartbroken to see that more and more people just take the land here to start growing things like sunflowers and wheat, but originally this land belongs to the wetland. This used to be the wetlands, and now the wetlands are much smaller because people basically started growing their things here, and that makes me really sad and bad and angry. So just a little reminder for all of us that we cannot earn all the money in this world and probably should leave nature be. But still, bolota is amazing. It's so beautiful. I just hear this smell, these sounds, and see this view, and gosh, I just get back in time. Also, bolota unfortunately suffered this year from the huge fire. There were around 7 firefighter cars trying to cope with the fire, and all the reeds, you know, and trees and lots of amazing places were burned down, but it restored, and Marek was quite impressed today to see it, and he just said that it was so beautiful. To my eye, it's not as beautiful as it could have been without the fire. The reeds are much lower, you know, we used to have reeds that were higher than me, and I'm like 1 meter 70 something. So we used to have enormous reeds and really, really, really beautiful trees here, and it would all smell nice, and the frogs would be quacking and the birds would be singing. Obviously after the fire it'll need a long time to recover and to get back to look how it looked. But even now we see Balota, maybe not in its whole beauty, but it's still amazing, and I'm so glad to be here. So I feel like a nature spirit now, actually, like Ukrainian Rusalka Mavka with my blue hair in a blue dress, who's giving a tour to two British scientists, to my friends who came to Ukraine to learn about this whole nature spirits, midsummer, how it started for me. I feel like I'm being interviewed as Rusalka, as a nature spirit, by people with microphones, cameras, their phones, and it's just it is a really interesting feeling, because I do feel like I belong to this place and I'm so connected with this nature. And it's an honor, actually, talking about Balota, about wetlands, about forests here, and about Ukrainian relations with nature spirits. But we've just talked with Marek that we also had some air spirits tonight, even though it's also peaceful. But those air spirits were not as nice. And I think Marek might talk about them, because I've actually slept through them, so I cannot really.
Yeah, yesterday I was walking in the forest and saying the irony of being here is this is the most peaceful place I've been to for a very long time, and knowing what's going on really not all that far from here. So that peaceful evening, peaceful afternoon, and then in the middle of the night, thinking that's a really loud noise, and I've heard about what this noise sounds like. Yeah, I know what it is. And I was thinking about, I was reading a report from Kiev about, well, actually probably not one, lots of people saying, you know, how frightening the drones are as they get closer and closer. I mean, obviously I was aware that here we're not a target, but yeah, it's frightening. You know, when you're a little kid, you're scared of things that they say go bump in the night. This is very different. It's real, and I just found myself thinking of, you know, what it must be like to be hearing that sound getting louder and louder, because it fills the air. It fills the air. That's the thing. You know, it's not like, oh, up there I can hear a buzzing sound, because I'd read about it sounding like a lawnmower or something like that, you know, or a moped, you know. No. And that's the point of the sound, isn't it? To fill the air and frighten people. And so I was just thinking about what it must be like to hear that, and to think that it actually could be coming for you.
Yeah.
You know, we have our own memories, well, not personal memories of this, but parents, grandparents, generation, people who remember the Second World War in Britain. There are things called flying bombs, which were cruise missiles. So they weren't called cruise missiles in those days, but that's what they were. And they made a buzzing kind of noise. They were called doodle bugs at the time. And what I always heard, the moment that people were waiting for was not when it got closer, but when the noise stopped.
Yeah.
Because that meant it was about to come down. And I was just thinking about what that must have been like for people in London and surrounding areas, and how similar it must be, and why is this going on now? Why is this still happening? So I was kind of feeling angry as well as scared.
Yeah.
And also kind of disoriented, because I thought, what am I supposed to do? Because actually I was the only person in the house who seemed to hear any of this. And you slept through the whole thing except for the first one.
I did hear the first one, and I was like, Okay, I hope my British friends sleeping in the room next to me are already asleep and do not hear that scene. But then I just felt asleep, and that was that. But yeah, I didn't really think that you would hear them in the middle of Poltava region in the peaceful village of Trubaitsi. But you did.
Yeah.
Those evil spirits, those foreign evil spirits are everywhere, and we are not big fans of them at all. But really, I remember at the beginning of the full-scale invasion, when I was about to go to the UK, and I knew that I would go in like a week. And flee the war, I came to this village, to Trubaitsi, to kind of like say goodbye to my granny, to kind of like my place, because I didn't know what was about to happen. And we have this part of the village called Kupala. It's like meadows and river and open space, really beautiful, huge area. And I went to walk there and to kind of like say goodbye to Kupala, and I heard the air siren from the nearby village, and that was really surreal experience, because you know that place where you grew up, running with friends, cycling with friends, swimming in the rivers, herding cows, going for walks, taking the wild mint to make some tea, and then just that surreal sound. But yeah, it's we always talk about safe places in Ukraine, but that's just a little reminder that there are some, but even in those safe places you will still hear the sounds and explosions and sirens, and it would affect your mental health, and you can't really feel truly relaxed and at peace here, because even I don't react to like drones or planes that much now, but even for me, when I hear the sounds, I'm like, okay, just a deep breath, this is like, we're used to this is just another thing. I'm trying hard to not say now like, this is normal, like, it's okay, just breathe, this is our new reality now. But it shouldn't become anybody's reality, and it shouldn't become normal, and people shouldn't get used to it. But hopefully our Ukrainian spirits will help us to find those evil ones. Actually, some of the soldiers do say that when they're on the front line, they feel like the nature is helping them, actually, and their steps are quieter. The enemy could not hear them, but they could hear the enemy walking on the same soil in the same area, like literally several meters away from each other. And there's the rain and snow in winter, and trees that hide them. So I really do believe that nature is helping us on our land as well. But yeah, it shouldn't be normal. So you had the tree grading experience, didn't you?
Yeah, when you could do the Airbnb, I mean, you really have to do something about the drones.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'll need to make sure that they're not flying over here. This is another sad thing, because I have this plan and this idea of starting Airbnb in my house where I grew up, and like, not just Airbnb, but I want it to be a culture project. If I collect enough money in future to do all the like repairing, etc., I want it to be both a place where people could stay and relax and recharge and reconnect with nature, because literally bolota and wetlands and meadows are like 1 minute walk from the house. So I really want it to be the place where people can stay and reconnect with nature, but also the place for the explorations of Ukrainian traditions. But obviously it's not going to happen this year, and it's likely not going to happen in the next year, because a lot of work will need to be done here Oh, actually, by the way, if anybody wants to invest in this, you're very welcome. This is a great project. I can take you to Ukraine and show you around.
I'm not sure we've got the pitch quite right.
Well, just in between words. But you just say that I'll need to do something with the drones, and it just amplifies and shows that we don't really think that the war is going to end in a year or in two, and this is terrible. And well, I hope it will. And I just using this recording and this podcast, it is going to be a podcast, isn't it, as another way of saying a huge thank you to Ukrainian defenders, because when I was going to the UK and fleeing the war, I didn't know whether Russians are going to be here in 2 weeks, and it's been 3 years and they are not yet here. But these are thanks to incredible sacrifice of people on the front line who are living in unhuman conditions, doing unhuman work, and basically just sacrificing their lives, their health, their families, to protect this land, which is so valuable for them and for us. And I also think about all those territories that are now occupied, about them being somebody's houses, about somebody, oh I guess I'm gonna cry now, about somebody like me, some like other girls and boys growing up there and going to their own forest, spending time with their grandparents, and having their festivals in the east of Ukraine, in Donetsk region, in Luhansk region, in Kherson region, in Sumshina. And I just imagine that all being taken from them, and with all the conversations now going on, because this is, what day is it today? The 18th, the 16th, the 19th? 19th. The 19th of August, and all these conversations about negotiations are happening, and about giving territories to Russia. I just I can't imagine somebody coming here and being like, you need to give all your childhood, your house, your memories, your place to Russia. This is ridiculous. I'm always in these situations, I'm just always happy to tell those people who say this, usually they are from other countries, I'm like, I am so happy to give Russia more territories, just tell me which of your territories we need to give them. You want to give them your house? You're very, very welcome. But don't make us give our childhood and our families and our houses and our fields and our bolotas and our wetlands, because you're just like, something's wrong with this. Something definitely is, a lot of things are wrong with this.
That was the talk we needed to do.
We did. Didn't we?
I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just suddenly thought, who do I have to thank for that? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they don't get thanked for anything.
No.